Not bad. That's off the toe a bit, so that's a better release. Swing direction's only 2.6 to the right. Well done. You're just keeping inside that 3 to 4 range. 53.4.
Okay, good.
Walk towards me a little bit. Big toe or the middle toe on that yellow line, so we can help get that club turning upwards a little more. Back low and throwing it. Excellent. Okay. So we still got that kind of push, trying to draw back, but that probably makes the rough. Okay, so we have a 90 miles an hour there, and you have a path of 9.4 to the right,
Okay.
with a vertical of 56.
Okay.
So remember, our baseline yesterday was 15 with a vertical of 59.
Yes.
And so why is the vertical important? So stay here, but hand me the club. We'll look at it from the golfer's perspective.
Okay.
So when the club is coming this far inside to out, like this, you can see where TrackMan is probably measuring. It's going to be measuring in this zone, the shaft, not just the ball, but also it's measuring. It's like the club head looks like a blob to it.
Okay.
But it's also measuring the verticality of how this travels through space. So it's not actually measuring the shaft, but you can tell what the shaft did and the handle did because of how this traveled through 3D space. So if we're working into out this much, you can see that as you come into the ball, even though you're super duper shallow here, you see how low this is, almost hitting the wall. As you come this way, and for you it's, sure, it's the pivot works its way a little bit to right center field.
Okay.
So you are guilty of that, but you're not in the top 10 I've ever seen.
Okay.
We did notice, however, that the better you were at staying back, the more leftwards that plane started to become, didn't it? We started noticing. But your big culprit is the arms. You like to throw your arms out to right field inside out too much, and that's where we get most of this path thing. And so that's going to also come, the arms going this way and throwing the handle out to right field. You can see how the shaft suddenly starts to get very tall. As the handle goes out to right field, which is you could also see that the tendency would be for the club face to come in very open. And so you're going to have to, now you see how tall, as I go past impact, how tall that shaft has gotten. So that's what gets us into that 56 to 59 range. Last year we had 59. So it's just it's a symptom. Altogether, you can take that data and you can read it and say, oh, okay, I know what's going on. When you see the path and the verticality, we see that the handle of the stick must be heading out to right field through impact, like this. See how it's going? It's the handle. Problem is, when the handle does that, it doesn't give the club head any reason to whip around and catch up. You see, it's like the water ski boat. If it's water ski boats going down the river there, the head wants to just follow it. And so it wants to come in this way. So this is why on occasion you just get a dead straight high push, maybe even a push with a bit of slice on it, because you haven't introduced enough of this type of torque, this shaft spinning torque. This is what you're reliant on to bring that thing around. And now you can see why the duck hook can come into play. If your hips get especially stuck, your chest doesn't rotate enough, you get a little early, you could end up like this and really snap it. Okay, so that's why we get inside out and tall readings. So we were 15 yesterday, 59, now 9 and 56. That's a huge improvement, considering that was kind of more of a natural swing for you. And so we'd like to have the club handle arcing, coming in that handspan from the thigh, but then a handspan from this thigh as it works its way around the arc. So that way, you watch that natural arc here, and then here, and watch how low the shaft stays. And you'd really like to kind of have it at the same height throughout that 180 degrees there. So the exit would come out. We're still in the shallow position here, but now as the handle continues to work around the arc, you also see a natural accelerating and squaring move to the head. So let's squat down for here for a second. So you can see if I have, this is a two-dimensional version. If the vector of here's the club in the slot, and an ant is swinging, right? It's a two-dimensional version. So if the handle just keeps going this way, look, the head never gets accelerated, only ends up going the speed of the handle. You can't pull the handle that fast at 100 miles an hour, so this never gets to its highest speed, and it never wants to come around and get square. So there's the open face until you start introducing this torque. And that, you see, that will get the face closing very rapidly. But watch instead, if the handle were to go this way,
much better.
I don't have to twist the shaft, but you saw the kick. The head really kicked. And so the more leftward, abruptly leftwards it goes, the faster that thing kicks into the ball. So you can see the potential for getting more club head speed there for less effort, but also getting the club to kick into the ball square so that you don't have to introduce this type of torque. But also then we'll also have the path straightening out. You just swung 90 miles an hour. And 90 miles an hour, we should be able to hit the ball in the 250 range if we're hitting it efficiently. Okay. At that speed and distance, you'd really like your path to be, plus or minus 3 degrees probably. Because that way a straight push or a straight pull doesn't quite make the rough. Great job. So super clumsy feeling. All in the way still. Same thing, huh? Little baby draw. So I think you're starting to add a little bit more early throw of the club to get it to come around and square up. That's right. I sense that you might have nudged the stick there. Did you hear something? I thought I heard. So you were a little bit up, and that's why we got more of that little grounder hook looking shot. That's beautiful. Way to go. Check this out. You actually had a path outside to in, half a degree.
Wow.
Opposite. Fantastic. Minus 0.5 path. Wow, what a great shape swing. 63.5. Excellent. Let's ramp it up a little higher. Not bad. That's off the toe a bit, so that's a better release. Swing direction's only 2.6 to the right. Well done. You're keeping inside that 3 to 4 range. 53.4.
Okay, good.
Walk towards me a little bit. Big toe or the middle toe on that yellow line, so we can help get that club turning upwards a little more. Back low and throwing it. Excellent. See, that throw gave you a lot more height that time, didn't it? Swing plane of 0.2, 53.8, so much more in the range now.